Toth, the god of knowledge. It wasn't easy to be Ra's tongue. Others interpreted his words as the sun god's wishes alone, as though Toth were nothing but an instrument. But the truth was, without Toth, Ra couldn't make it through a day. Toth stood at the prow of the boat as it crossed the sky, while Ra went from being a newborn, hardly bigger than a scarab freshly hatched from a dung heap, to a youth strong and bold as a falcon, to an old man that the wind could blow about. So Toth's responsibility for guiding the boat expanded as the daylight diminished. Toth wasn't alone in this. Maat, the spirit of cosmic balance and a child of Ra, also rowed in the boat. Though the goddess was only in idea, she supported Toth in tasks. Toth loved her as his partner. In a sense, they were wed. Others sometimes entered the boat, gods, animals, but only as passengers along for a ride. In the evening, Maat shared a dreadful task with Toth. That's when the old man, Ra, traveled the 12 caverns of the underworld in the boat Meseket, now going west to east. Hungry, serpentine monsters infested the waters, and the old man, Ra, was too feeble in body and heart to conquer them. Maat spied the monsters. Toth steered around them. But every night when they reached the 9th cavern, Apep attacked. Apep was the worst creature imaginable. He didn't have eyes, ears, or a nose. Nothing scared this nearly insensate creature. His breath was a roar of terror. Nightly, Ra and Maat and Toth fought Apep, until Apep sprayed poison into Ra's eyes. Then Toth wiped Ra's eyes clear so he could see to spear the monster through his scales and into his pitiless heart. The monster's blood then spurted up and colored the sky rosy, the backdrop for Ra's reappearance as a newborn dawn. Toth sang his victory as a baboon sings at the rising sun. Sometimes he got so carried away that he took baboon form himself. The god Set claimed it was he who fought Apep each night. He was a liar. The vanquishing of darkness, the coming of light, all that depended on Toth. And it wasn't just the day cycle that Toth ensured. He made the year's cycle work. In the beginning, the year was only 360 days. The waters of none were sterile. But Toth played a high-stakes dice game with the moon god Khonsu. He won, and he got a 72ndth of the moon's light. 5 days. Over those days, none was fertile. The first deities were conceived. In gratitude to the moon, Tahuti curved his ibis bill to match the crescent shape of the moon. Looked at from a certain perspective, Toth was the creator of the cosmos, not Ra. Toth would never voice this, of course, but facts are facts. Toth served whoever needed him. He was aware of what could go wrong. He heard the waiting phantoms of pandemonium calmly licking their chops. Their appetites must never be sated. Toth convinced Venus to come back to Egypt after Ra had refused to show her fair appreciation. He spoke with reason, and that's all it took. It was Toth, always Toth, who solved the problem, whatever the problem may be. When Set tore Osiris into 14 pieces and Isis could only find 13, it was Toth who whispered the words to her to make Osiris whole and alive long enough for her to conceive their son, Horus. He protected Isis during her pregnancy, and when Horus fought with Set for 80 years, Toth maintained the power balance. If one gravely injured the other, Toth would heal the underdog. Once Toth recovered all but a small fraction of the eye that Set had torn from Horus, and once he brought fatally wounded Horus back to life. Toth restored order. That was the bottom line. He honored Ma'at. Toth was the god of wisdom. In his wisdom he gave people words to philosophize and to pray. He gave them hieroglyphics to record when, where, why, how, who, to keep track of history. He taught them numbers so they could calculate the layout of the heavens, the stars, the earth, and all within them, and to understand astronomy. He helped them look around objectively so they could learn and know, not just imagine. He gave them science. One might conclude that Thoth was the most important god, for wisdom is a very important virtue. If one did, Thoth might agree, but he would never say so, for he was far too wise.